Hey gang, it's been so long, and honestly, I totally forgot that I had a podcast. Honestly, when I first started it, it was kind of like something to help me deviate and navigate my feelings through the breakup. I started a podcast right before the breakup. I was kind of like anticipating it to happen, I guess. With that said, I thought that the previous episodes were very relationship oriented, and I kind of got sick of myself talking so much about relationships. So I'm going to talk about life after the breakup. It's been fun, it's been cool, and I've been making so many new friends and side questing so much to the point that I actually got quite burnt out balancing work, and at the same time I've been traveling quite a bit. So for context, I'm doing radio on the side, so I go on air once a week, and then I also do content creation, and at the same time with all of that, I'm also trying to expand my network out of Singapore. So I think it's not I think I am going KL again this week to look at like some car stuff and make new friends. I've made some new friends there that are honestly quite cool. They drive the coolest JDMs ever. Sometimes I really do wish that Singapore were less strict on the car rules so that we could have some cool cars on the road as well. One of them drives a really nice FK8. I really love Hondas. So that's that. To deep dive in all the fun things I've been doing and all the side questing as a single girl in her solo era, loving her life, I think I'm getting a bit too comfortable with it. But that's great. That's great. I really need solo time because ashamed to say, I'm very ashamed. This is the longest time I've been single, okay? And it's only been, I think, like 4 months. I used to jump into relationships like maybe like 2-3 months after I would have already been talking to someone and about to jump into a new relationship already. So that's not good, okay, guys? That's not good. After every relationship, you should have some time to introspect and see what you can do better and what you need to work on yourself. So on to the topic of introspection, I'm here to tell you that, oh my gosh, I'm struggling with myself, and I think not having someone to rely on for your emotions make me learn that I need to face my insecurities straight up in your face. Yes, I am a very insecure person, and I'm not shy to say that, and I'm very sure that I have said this many times before on my podcast. I am someone that is very insecure. Something new I learned though. It is okay to be insecure. It is okay to want to change the way you look. Okay, this might be a bit of a controversial take already at this point because I don't want to preach toxic positivity here where I'm going to tell you like, oh, just be yourself, love yourself for who you are. Because yes, I can preach that and that's going to sound really amazing. But truth is that I myself am very insecure, and sometimes I can't even face myself in the mirror to tell myself that I'm okay. So I don't want to be lying to people who tune in their face also to say like, it's okay, you're fine, just be yourself. But I guess the best advice I can give you at my current stage of life is that before you do anything to change yourself for who you are, you have to think if what you're doing will benefit you long term, or if what you're doing is something that will make you love yourself more long term. I'm someone that does like surgery procedures. I've done my eyes, I've done my face, I've done my buccal fat before, and I did not regret one bit doing any procedure of mine. Do not ever listen to someone else's feedback of you. For example, if your stinky ass boyfriend tells you that, oh, I wish you had bigger boobs, and then you go and do boob surgery just for him, down the line, if you learn how to love your own body, you will actually regret the things you do because of what other people say. So that's just, I guess, the advice that I can give you at my current point of life, is to do what you think you're okay with in the long run. And of course, don't do so much because you might regret. The essence of you should still remain. Like, you should still look like you. That's how I feel. Moving on to my next point about insecurity. I used to be so triggered about people whenever they complain about how fat they look, how ugly they are. It could be, for example, a very pretty girl looking me in the eye and she's like, oh my god, I feel so fat today. I feel horrible today. I feel ugly. Yes, sometimes we might feel like, oh my god, this girl is being a freaking pick-me. She's so pretty. Can she just shut up? Why is she making me feel worse? But if you were to actually switch the narrative a bit, everyone is allowed to be insecure about themselves. Anyone and everyone is insecure in one way or another, and they are allowed to be insecure. And for them to actually, express themselves that they are insecure to you means they probably trust you in a way. I guess I took a perspective change. I choose to not see people for being like purposely trying to dig out compliments and stuff like that. But in that case, see them for someone as, hey, maybe they're not having the best day today. Maybe they just need some reassurance from me as a friend. So I guess this perspective shift of mine to, give my friends the booster that they need actually changed my perspective on life as well. And I'm happier now and I feel less shitty about myself. There was this close friend of mine last time where she used to always say like she's fat, she feels horrible. And then it makes me feel bad about myself because at that point of time, I was chubbier than her and stuff like that. So it made me feel very horrible about myself. And for someone that is very open with my eating disorder in the past, I thought that was quite a huge trigger point. Yes, maybe at that point of time, if I were to think back, she was probably being a little bit insensitive about it, but she probably was feeling a little shitty about herself also. So I guess I could take a step back to, be a friend at that point of time and just tell her like, hey, you know what? You probably are feeling insecure today, but just to let you know, you look really good. Next point, as someone that is single in a single era and not having the reassurance from my own partner that I'm beautiful and stuff like that, I guess there's a lot of things that I've learned to be more grounded and be more secure about myself, and that includes teaching myself to know that I'm beautiful in my own way as well. As much as I'm learning all the new styles online, the latest trends and whatnot, sometimes I really do feel shitty about myself and the way I look because, sometimes when you're with your guy friends and then you hang out with them, they would just keep talking about other girls and then they're like, oh my god, this girl is really pretty because of this, because of that. And sometimes when they say that to me, it kind of makes me feel very shitty about myself because I find myself comparing myself with the girls they find pretty. Now, when I look back in a better headspace, it doesn't make sense because first of all, comparing myself to them is quite stupid in a sense because I'm pretty sure everyone wants to be someone else and everyone in a way or another wants to be someone else. There's so many beauty standards. There's Asian beauty standards, Western beauty standards, so many beauty standards. I realized that I can't be everything at once. It's very ridiculous. I used to want to be this, be that, and then I changed my style so often. I didn't have a true identity for myself, which sucked. I found myself so tired wanting to be everyone else except for me. And when you find yourself trying to want to fit into every beauty standard ever, you will never be happy with the way you look. And that is true. Being pretty doesn't fix everything. It kind of surprises me that pretty people still get cheated on, pretty people still get rejected, pretty people still get insecure, and pretty people still have bad mental health days. Like, no one is perfect. I'm pretty sure even like the best people, who's my idol? Let me think. Even, EXO Kai, he probably has bad days as well that he doesn't feel good enough. But let me tell you, he's freaking hot. Like, it's okay to be insecure, but at the same time, you need to learn how to catch yourself back. And I'm very thankful that I don't have a partner now because if I am not working on this insecurity part of me yet, I'm probably gonna keep pestering him every day, and his mini moves and whatever he does is gonna make me so upset because it's gonna make me so insecure. And I don't want to ever step in a relationship ever again to burden the partner. I want to come as nobody's gonna be completely healed when they meet their partner, but I want to at least, be a level of confident and a level of secure about myself so that, I don't have to like crash and burn every time I go into a relationship. So this solo time is great for me to, learn how to make myself secure. And I think that the real reason why I'm being insecure is because I think my goal here as someone that has not been there yet and has not reached the goal of being secure yet is that I want to be secure to the point that like I don't need anybody's validation to feel that I'm enough. And I have friends like that. I have friends that are freaking confident of themselves. Sometimes maybe overly confident because they would diss everyone and they'll be like, yo, look at me. I'm so freaking good. That's why this girl likes me. This girl likes me because I'm freaking handsome. Look at the other guys out there. I'm the best. Okay, maybe I don't want to be like that kind of confident. I think I just need to be a level of I know that I'm good enough. I know that I'm good enough that if today I like a guy and he doesn't like me back, I'm able to handle the rejection and I'm able to know that my worthiness does not depend on him, which is really important for all you girls and guys listening to me right now, that you must understand that if someone doesn't like you back or if someone does not value you the way you value them, if your partner is not putting as much effort in you as much as you put in him, it does not reflect any value of yours. I've seen friends that would do anything for a relationship while the partner's just there like, yep, you know what, I don't give a shit. Like, you can do what you want. I honestly don't care much about you. That situation kind of sucks. Which is why I'm gonna stay single until the day I find someone that is, that finds me worthy. And I also find him worthy. That we live happily together after. So from now until then, I'm gonna definitely take time to take care of myself instead of punishing myself. If you want to change anything about yourself, especially when I talk about like procedures and stuff like that, always do your research. I'm not discouraging you from doing it, but do it because you want to, not because societal tells you to, not because your boyfriend tells you to. As long as you doing it makes you happier, it's a good enough reason to, go for it. I'm not discouraging you, but I'm just saying like you need to go through a lot of like research and make sure you are happy with it and stuff like that before you do it, because some things are just irreversible. And as for me, I'm trying to take care of myself instead of punishing myself. Until this day, I have a lot of body image problems with myself. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm struggling a lot with it. But I'm just trying to, instead of punishing myself for it, I try to tell myself like, look, the way my body is, I can always change it with a lot of healthier lifestyle habits. I don't have to punish myself for it. I don't have to restrict myself for it. I need to learn how to be happy with the way I look. And if I want to work on myself, I'm going to go to the gym, which is why I picked up Muay Thai, which is why I learned how to, work out in a fun way. I've been running. Recently, I ran 8.88 km, okay? That's damn hot. And it's thanks to my friend Ben. He kind of like pushed me to run. We were supposed to run 6 km that day. Somehow it became 7 km. And then during the last stretch of the run, he was like, you know what? Why not let's do something with your username, buffbaby88, like your necklace 888. Let's do 8 km. Let's do 8.88 km. I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't think I can do it. But surprisingly, mentally, I kind of pushed through, which is great. Doing things for yourself, learning new workouts. And for me, I found like a running community, a Muay Thai community, and that really like spurred me on to love life even freaking more. I freaking love life now. Dressing in ways that makes me feel like myself. I realized that, because my body, I accepted that, okay, I'm born with a short torso, so buying clothes for me is actually pretty difficult. You have no idea how many returns I have on Shein because like the clothes don't fit, my waist just looks funny with it. I slowly learned like my style, what I like, what I dislike, and I love the way I dress now, and I'm like quite confident with the way I dress. I think an element of cute paired together with my tattoos actually is something that I vibe with. I also did a social media like cleanse in a sense where I followed more like motivational content that made me feel enough about myself instead of spending time, stalking girls that I used to compare myself to and whatnot. Also, lastly, my best friend Gavin told me that I need to be more confident with myself. Yes, he was like, it's so unattractive if a girl were to just tell everyone that she's clearly like not confident. Because sometimes when I get compliments, it's a bit hard for me to accept them. I'll be like, oh no, I feel very ugly, but thanks. But Gavin was like, you need to learn how to like take them, and you need to look more confident because confidence is really attractive. And it's true. It's true. Because I realized that confidence makes a bigger difference than like any one facial feature ever could have. And I'm trying to work on that. I'm gonna end off with me saying that you will never be everyone's type, and you don't need to be. If you're afraid that you're going to be left on the shelf or something, there is a market for everyone else, and you don't have to be every guy's type if that's where you think your validation comes from. And for me, I'm working on steering away my validation from the public eye, but in a sense, we're finding validation in myself where I'm like, yeah, you know what? Janelle's great. There are girls who look nothing like Zendaya, Sydney Sweeney, Jennie, Dua Lipa. All are considered attractive, but all are completely different. So beauty isn't one thing. It's many things that define you, and character is fucking important. This is something that you must remember. A guy, a girl can be freaking beautiful and handsome, but the thing is that if your character sucks, you suck. So maybe the goal isn't to wake up one day and think like you're the prettiest girl in the room, but the goal is to wake up and stop treating yourself like you're the ugliest, because most of the suffering doesn't come from how we look, but it comes from the way we're constantly fighting against ourselves. Stop fighting against yourselves. In order to win this, you need to learn how to love yourself. Which is why we are on this journey together and you're not alone. I'm not talking as if like I'm already there yet. I'm not. I'm like far from it. And I'm working on it together with you guys. So hey, it's a blessing. Someone's on this journey with you, and that's me. So yes, with that said, I've ended the podcast. It's so crazy. I'm at 21 minutes. Probably by the time I cut, probably a portion is off. But yes, I'll catch you guys next time. And I can't wait for my trip this week. It's a work trip. So life is so fun and there's so many adventures coming forward, and I can't wait to share more with you guys. So follow my socials, my private account buffbaby88, if you want to see more on the things I do. I love automotive, I love lifestyle, I love beauty, but mostly I post automotive, but I'm trying to work on that because I need to work on my beauty content as well because I do it for the girlies. Okay, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.